Maybe somebody would, and if they do, then I don't care if they want to watch it, right? So I marked it all as public, and I just titled the videos what they were. It was just like, this is an American Eagle flight taking off out of Chicago, right? So the channel had been around for 5 years before I made a single penny, and everything before that was me just flying and filming it myself. And for reference, I believe this varies based on the size of the channel when you apply. But when you hit the thresholds to become a monetized channel on YouTube, which we'll talk about in a second, it is not instantaneous. The channel has to go through a manual review at YouTube to make sure that your channel conforms to all of the terms of service and stuff that YouTube and their advertisers want. And it took YouTube over a year from when I applied to their partnership program to actually be approved and start making money. So what I'm doing all summer is I'm flying into and featuring all 50 states on the channel, and I've gotten to visit over 60 countries, mostly thanks to the channel. So there's just some of my flying stats, and I've flown on over 1,300 flights now since 2010, 96 airlines, 73 aircraft types, and 741 unique routes. Unfortunately, it's all on different airlines, right? So I don't get a nice million-miler pin from any airline, but I have passed 1 million miles flying now. That picture there was when Southwest introduced AMUA 1, their Hawaii-themed paint scheme. They actually contacted me and offered me a seat on that charter flight. It was not a publicly available flight. They flew the first flight from Long Beach to Honolulu, and they asked if I wanted to film that flight, and of course I said, absolutely, I would like to do that, right? So that was a pretty cool thing. I film and that stuff, so I was gonna talk about that real quick. That's how I film right there. I film by hand. I do not use any like suction cup mounts or anything, and that's for 2 reasons. One is because I care too much about the quality of my videos. My channel is all about high quality aviation flights from all over the world. I film everything in 4K, 60 frames a second. And I famously reply to comments and say, I will not compromise the quality of my videos so I can be more comfortable, because the whole point is to showcase this aviation from all over the world for people who aren't as fortunate and can't do that. There's like this photo here is from Osaka, Japan. And there's a lot of people who'd like to visit Japan, but they can't afford it. They can't because of their health. They can't because they've had a car accident or whatever, right? They can't travel anymore. And there's a lot of aviation enthusiasts who would love to take these flights and these planes and stuff, but can't. And so I can, and I have the privilege of doing that now. And so I want to present it in as high quality as possible. And when you use a mount and you stick a mount to the window, you get this, you end up with this jitter the whole time, right? Because there's so many vibrations and stuff that run through aircraft and their engines, and just the air resistance of going 500 miles an hour through the air. I travel with multiple 1 terabyte iPhones. Currently I use 16 Pros to film. My 15 Pro is a backup, and I upgrade to the newest ones a year behind the new ones. So when an 18 Pro comes out, I'll upgrade to 17 Pros. I used to do it right when they came out, but I started having too many bugs. With the 15 Pro and on, I was having problems with software bugs, that it wasn't working right. They'd stop filming, and I decided, you know what, I need to give Apple time, I guess, to get the bugs worked out. And so I don't upgrade right away anymore. Plus it's cheaper to do it that way. But honestly, we were talking about this before I started, cell phone cameras are amazing now. And more importantly, they conform to all of the FAA regulations about using electronics during taxi, takeoff, and landing. A lot of times people are like, oh, I've got this big setup and I've got a DSLR camera and this nice lens and stuff. And I'm like, you might get away with it, but you're gonna get a flight attendant at some point who tells you to put it away. Because the rule is, it has to be less than 2 pounds.
I found is that with a bigger, bulkier camera, you can't hold it still to save your
That's
life.
right. The heavier, I mean, even a smartphone, your arm is going to get tired, right? And so the more weight you add, even if it's just a couple pounds, it adds up fast when you're having to kind of hold your arm out in a specific way, right? So I edit everything with, I do everything myself on the channel, by the way. I don't remember if I said that, but I'm a one-man show. I don't farm anything out. I don't use AI for anything. I do everything myself. I do the flying, the planning, the travel, the filming, the editing, the replying to comments. If you leave a comment on my channel, it's me replying to it, right? I just this year upgraded my editing computer. I now use a 2025 Mac Studio with an M3 Ultra Core and 96 gigabytes of RAM. And for me, that's really important because I'm doing, some of my flights are 10, 11 hours long. And to render out a video like that, it takes a long time in 4K. My old iMac, which was a 2019 iMac, it would render about 1 to 1. If the video was an hour long, it would take about an hour and 5 minutes to render it out. The new Studio renders out an hour of 4K footage in 12 minutes. So this actually freed up so much more time for me to do the back end stuff on the channel, replying to comments and dealing with sponsors or all that stuff. Because my old computer, when I would render something out, it would basically be dead. I couldn't use it for anything else while it was doing that. This one, it's got so much power that it doesn't affect it anymore. Anyone can start a channel. It's free, right? Anybody can create a YouTube account and start posting videos instantly. But there are requirements that must be met for your content and stuff to actually monetize it. If your goal is to build a brand and to build it into a revenue generating channel, there are things you have to take account of. To monetize your content, you must first apply to and be accepted to the YouTube Partnership Program, which, like I was talking about earlier, is not exactly straightforward. It's not just like an AI, you apply, yes, you're good to go. It goes through a manual review and it can take a while. And these are the requirements right now on what your channel has to hit before you can do that. So the requirements are you have to have 1,000 subscribers. So you just hit that, right? You said?
Yeah.
Yep. And either 4,000 valid public watch hours in the last year or 10 million shorts views. I don't like shorts, YouTube shorts. It kind of just is the exact opposite of what my content is. So I don't deal with that. But you have to hit you have to have the subscriber count and one of the others. And it's once you get to 1,000 subscribers, it's pretty easy to hit the 4,000 watch hours per month. So once you get to that, then you can go into your dashboard on YouTube and go into the monetization tab, and you can hit apply to the program, and then it will tell you that, I don't remember, it's been so long since I did it now, and you can't do it again, right? So I can't see the process anymore. But when I did it, I think you had to fill out some information, because if you get an ad revenue check, they have to know where to send it and for taxes and stuff, right? But that's where you do all that at. You've got to find your niche, and you've got to find something that is different enough to kind of stand out, right? Especially in today's YouTube world. Like I said, there's so many channels now. It was hard when I did it 10 years ago, and now there's tons and tons more. I mean, I send out a Patreon update every month to my Patreon supporters, and every month I put how many active content creating channels there are, and it's over like 70 million now. So you're literally a small fish in a big pond, right? And that's what kind of happened for me, right? There were some full flight channels around, but most of them were like GoPros stuck to a window, and it was a wide angle, and you couldn't really see detail and stuff. And I was like, man, I really like that, but like I want it to be better, right? Like I want it to be as high quality as possible. And that's kind of what ended up driving the growth of my channel is I found a niche, and I just kept perfecting it over and over again, right? Like I wanted it to be the best, and I enjoyed it. And I think that's a big part of it too, is that most YouTube channels start as hobbies. That's just the way it's always been on YouTube. People start them because they think it's fun, they enjoy it. That's why I started. I was doing it just because I liked filming 5 minutes of this flight, and I wanted to go back and watch it again. And so I started it as just for fun for me, and I never had any goals or aspirations at the beginning for it to turn into a job. That just kind of happened. And so when people leave comments on my videos about, well, like, how do I do this? How do I build a channel like that? And I was like, if you enjoy doing it, do it. Just do it because you enjoy it. And you will find other people on YouTube who enjoy that same thing. And you'll start to build a community around those people. And your subscribers and your viewers and stuff then become your base that help drive the algorithm to send it out to other people. Do not be an absent channel operator. I have seen so many times people start channels and they start out running and strong, but they don't engage with their community. They don't reply to comments. They've got the little heart button you can hit now. There was a time when I responded to every single comment on my channel. It got to the point where it was so big that I don't have time to do that anymore, but I read every comment. And the ones that I read that maybe don't have a question or don't necessarily need a reply, right? I just hit the heart button because then they know that I read it and that I saw it, right? And that counts as engagement too. You replying to comments on your videos helps drive engagement, which helps the video get more push outs because the algorithm sees more comments, more engagement, more view time, more, it's all, again, does anybody really understand the algorithm? No, but there are some basic things that you can do, right? Like keeping the engagement up on your videos. Somebody comments and says, oh man, I love this video, and I always reply, thanks, I appreciate it, I appreciate the support, I appreciate you watching, and I appreciate you being a member of the community here. Because ultimately that's what it is. It's just like a virtual community, right? Of all these people who love aviation, travel, or for whatever reason they're watching, right? And that helps drive the video farther because of the more engagement. Anything on that one?
It's an Air France logo on that one.
Yeah, yeah. That's an Air France A318 actually. One of only, 2 or 3 left flying in the world. That is departing Oslo, Norway, heading for Paris. So, some lessons I've learned over the years that people definitely should not repeat or do. And some of these I didn't do, but I've learned from them, and I want other people to know this too. Organic growth is the best. Nothing beats organic growth, even if it's painfully slow. Do not be tempted by companies who reach out to you promising to grow your channel faster, because once you are big enough to apply to the YouTube partnership program, and once you do, you are going to get contacted. If you have an email listed on your channel anywhere, they are gonna start contacting you saying, if you pay us X amount of dollars, we will get you 10,000 new subscribers or 100,000 views or whatever. And not only is that against YouTube's terms of service, and they will terminate your channel if they find out that you have unorganically grown your channel, but it's not worth it anyways, because those are not legitimate good views and subscribers and stuff. They are just farmed out content, and they're bots, and it does not get you anywhere. And so do not do that. I've never done that. But I have gotten contacted so many times that I wanted anybody who's gonna try to do this or get into this to know that that's coming, and it can be tempting. Believe me, I know. When the channel was young and I was in this going back and forth, like, man, could this be a job? Could it not? And you get this email from this company saying, man, we could double your growth overnight. It's like you're looking at that and you're like, well, hey, but no, it's not worth it. It's not worth it to do, because YouTube may never find out, but if they do, they will terminate your channel and they will never look back. And so you will have spent years building something potentially, right? Just for it to be gone overnight, and there's nothing you can do about it because you didn't follow the terms of service they want channels to be organic, especially in the world of AI now and bots. They want real content and stuff. They just recently, YouTube cracked down and they changed the terms of service to eliminate a ton of AI-driven channels from the ad revenue programs. They kicked them all out, and because people were just feeding scripts into ChatGPT and stuff, right? And saying, give me a voiceover of this and find me pictures, and then putting it up on YouTube on the life of Mark Twain or this or that. And YouTube finally was like, no, we're not doing this. This is a platform for creators, and we're not going to reward people who just feed stuff through AI and don't actually do any of the work themselves. So Don't be tempted by any of those offers that you get from companies and stuff. The only legitimate way, of course, to pay for growth is to pay YouTube first, or Google for sponsorship. Is to have YouTube, you can pay to have like a sponsored video that they will plug in the algorithm for you, basically, right? Because you're paying them for it. To get sucked into that and just spend all kinds of time staring at those numbers, being like, why did this video not do better here? Because this was that was great, you know. And a good example about this is what I was talking about earlier with subscriber counts, right? Like, subscriber count is a great tool and it's a great thing to use, but subscriber count in the end doesn't really matter. When I tell people I run a channel full time, the first question I always get asked is, how many subscribers do you have? And I say, 140,000 and stuff, and that's great. I got my silver play button. That was something that I shot for. That was a target for me, that I wanted to be able to put that on my desk and say, I grew this channel and got this in return, right? I put all this time in. But ultimately, the subscriber count of a channel does not determine how much people watch your videos. And ultimately, it's about how many people click your video and how long they watch it for that determines whether or not the channel is successful. I mean, a great example is if you go online and you find a channel that has like 2-3 million subscribers but hasn't posted in a while, like maybe they didn't post for 2 years and then they came back. There are channels with 8,000 subscribers now that have higher engagement and viewer retention and stuff than that channel with 3 million subscribers, because they disappeared, all their subscribers tuned out, nobody was watching their videos anymore, they weren't consistent, and then they decided to come back, and nobody came back because there's people have forgotten about it and stuff, right? So don't get sucked into like, this video, why did more people not watch this video? Why did I not gain more subscribers from this? Which kind of goes back to, if you love doing it, just do it for that. Do it because you love it, and the benefits that come with building into a brand later will come, which is something that I, as much as I love doing this, have struggled with since it became a full-time job. Because then when it became a job, it suddenly took on new meaning, right? Like, before it was just an extra income that I had. Now it is my only income, and so I have to hit these targets and stuff, and I have to produce new videos. And like last year, I even posted about it, right? Like, I did the JetBlue 25 for 25 challenge last year. JetBlue turned 25 years old, and as a special thing, they did that if anybody could fly on them from like June through December 31st last year, and they could fly to 25 JetBlue cities on JetBlue flights, they would give them 25 years of status, and basically ended up with 500,000 JetBlue True Blue points. I'm more than happy to answer them. If we are running out of time, I'm going to be at the marketplace all day still at my table, so we can ask more questions there too. But
where's that?
that is landing in Lahui, Hawaii, on the island of Kauai.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
I just wondered how many states you have left to go.
So on the challenge that I'm doing right now, I've flown into, I've posted on the channel 9. I've actually done the flying for 18, and I have all the tickets booked for 31. I don't have it all completely booked out, because with the way my trips are, I'm doing like 7-day trips at a time. Some days there's 3 flights a day. It's inevitable that stuff is gonna go wrong. Like, there's gonna miss a connection, there's gonna be weather that's gonna cancel or something, right? So I'm leaving stuff open-ended because I'm gonna have to change things up as we go along. But so I've got planned 31 so far. So, and my goal is to finish it by the end of the year, so.
What sort of editing do you do after you film? And secondly, all the pictures you've shown seem to be either just ahead of the wing or just behind the wing. Is that because you want to frame the pictures with part of the aircraft?
Yes. So ultimately, I tell people, like, the aviation is the star of my video. I'm not on camera, right? So I'm not interested in being on camera. I love some of the channels that have people like that, like Jeb Brooks and Noel Phillips and stuff, who do aviation stuff, where it's more about the the journey itself and stuff. Mine's all about the aviation. So I have my 2 favorite places to sit, and one is right in front of the engine, looking back, or a few rows behind the wing to get the wing. And every once in a while, I'll get comments on the channel about, like, oh man, this video would have been great if the wing wasn't blocking 3/4 of the view. And I always just reply like, listen, that's the great thing about YouTube. If you want scenery, which I try to feature too, right? Then there are all kinds of drone scenery channels that fly over scenes, and it's just picturesque and beautiful, nature, cities, all that stuff. I'm like, there's your thing, right? Mine is aviation, and the wing is the primary focus of the video. Everything else is secondary, because I'm like, this flight was too beautiful not to post, but nobody wants to watch a flight and hear a screaming child for 3 hours or whatever, right? And I don't judge the parents for bringing the baby. I took a baby on a plane before. I think that kids have just as much right to travel as everybody else, right? But one of the benefits I have of having so much footage over the years is that I have audio from the same aircraft type in that same seat somewhere else, you know? So what I'll do is I'll go in and I'll take the announcements that were made on the flight that I took, and I'll stitch it all back in with the audio that doesn't have the child or the somebody who could not pace themselves like they should have at the bar, right? So just to make it more, because a lot of people watch the channel for the ambience and the noise and stuff. So.
It's a 10-minute walk from here. When you get up to the security area, you guys will get your badges. So you will line up again and they'll have badges for you. Once you go into the hangar, please be respectful. So listen, follow the rules. Make sure photography is allowed, but you will not be able to photograph any employees. So please do respect that, okay? Because it's their workspace. So other than that, have a great time. Any questions?
Oh, and I told them earlier, a few other people early, when you're done with the hangar tour, if you want, instead of walking back, the Alaska Airlines Company store is at the headquarters, which is just south of 188th Street. If you go down from the hangar, it's International Boulevard is the north-south street, 188th is east-west street. South of 188, that first building you hit, is the Alaska Airlines Headquarters Network Operations Center. They also have the company store. If you go in the company store and use the code EXPO26, they'll give you a 10% discount on any purchase in the Alaska Airlines store. So definitely, instead of walking straight back, you can all go hang out as a group if you want and go down to the Alaska Airlines store.
Rudy, what's up, buddy? Indigenous, if you will. Other than that, like I said, we're doing heavier things. We're doing flight control changes in here. We're doing APU changes in here, gear changes.
Think it really has to be something small, I guess.
I'm liking your new website.
Thank you so much. Yeah, try to keep things going.
We're gonna do a quick raffle here first. We got some safety cards and some.
Everybody, oh wait, we have enough
Sorry,
safety cards for everybody. So
everybody's getting safety cards.
courtesy of Interaction Group, we've got safety cards for everybody, and you can come up and grab them. I'll give everybody a set.
522.
Oh, hey.
522! Look at that! You want a record or a model? A record model?
138.
I think they just don't want the record.
138.
138.
4 hours later.
66.
66. 22. 22. What do you got? What number?
421.
What?
We called 121.
We
There you
called
go.
121. Here you
Yeah,
go.
there you go.
Take the record. We're done. Congratulations.
Plane spotting is a huge component of these aviation shows. As we know, we love being right next to the airport here. You all have submitted fantastic pictures, whether they're here or somewhere around the world. And what better way to start than a beautiful Boeing 777X?
Move out a little bit, let a few other people get in to see the pictures. Thank you all for being here. On the way out, we'll get you some safety cards when you leave, okay? Will do.